Today we're going to compare two PCs, one with a solid state drive SSD and one with a normal hard drive, to compare the difference between the speed of the solid state drive in an everyday use. In the test today we've got a brand new computer which is an HP Generation 4 i5 processor, one of the best processors on the market, with 8GB of RAM but with a standard 500GB hard drive, compared to what seems like a lot slower on paper 2-year-old refurbished Dell computer with a Generation 2 i3 processor, only 4GB of RAM, but with a brand new 120GB SSD. We're going to start the film by starting up the computers and running a few programs which people would use in everyday use. As you can see, it's immediately visible how much faster the computer with the solid state drive starts up. It's already in Windows and it's installing the new keyboard and mouse which are just plugged in before starting up the computers. It's now ready to go with the keyboard and mouse installed, whilst the newer PC with a standard hard drive hasn't even started Windows yet. As you can see, the new PC has finally got into Windows, but it still has some programs to start up and also has to install a new keyboard and mouse. It's still looking to finish starting up a couple of programs at the moment. So far, the computer with the solid state drive has been over a minute faster starting up. This has included installing a couple of drivers for the keyboard and mouse, but they're quite basic. A lot of the programs which are running back end, like your antivirus program, do take some time to start up at the start. I believe it is almost finished starting. Yep, I think it's now finished. So we're now going to open up an Outlook file to see the difference in speed between the two computers. This is quite a large Outlook file to simulate what people would use in a normal office. Microsoft recommend only having about 5,000 emails per folder because it can cause problems with the program slowing down or hanging. This is not visible with SSD, but has definitely been a problem some people have had with a normal hard drive. So as you can see, it was quite a lot faster opening up the Outlook file. So we're now going to try an Excel file. It's worth noting at this point that there's two parts to opening the file. There's the program starting itself, and there's actual file opening up from the hard drive wherever it's located. So if you have all your files on the server, this may not be an exact test, because I'd say maybe about a quarter of the time opening up the program is actual file opening, and the rest of it's actual application itself opening. So as you can see, again, it wasn't a particularly demanding file, yet it took quite a long time to open up on the hard drive computer. We're now going to open up a Word document. This is quite a large Word document, but Word's quite clever the way it opens. It opens up the first page of the document to get the program open, and then loads up the rest of the document after that, so it doesn't slow things down. So there wasn't a significant difference between the two there, but we're actually going to shut them down now, and this is surprisingly how different they are. Word checks over the whole program before shutting them down to make sure there's no changes, to notify you to try and save them. And as you can see, With the hard drive, it takes significantly longer to go through these checks before shutting down. We've got a graphic file which is running on Adobe Photoshop, and again there's two parts to this. There's actual Adobe Photoshop opening, which is quite a big program, and there's the file itself. So the computer with the solid state drive has already opened up the file, and it's already notified us that our trial is almost up. Whilst the computer with the hard drive has now opened up the file, but it's still not finished opening up the actual application itself. I think we finally got there with that one. So we're now going to open up Internet Explorer. Again, this is quite a basic program, so it shouldn't take too long to open up, but it's an indicator of if you're using internet all day, you're opening up every single tab. There's a couple of seconds difference between different programs. We're not connected to the internet, so it is a little bit quicker than it would be if it's opening up the full web page. And lastly, we're going to open up iTunes. This is again quite a big program, and you can see the difference if you are looking to play some music, how slow this is on the normal hard drive in comparison to the SSD. Again, as you can see, it's significantly quicker on the SSD. We're not connected to the internet again, so we can't open up iTunes, but the program is up. We're going to open up one last Word document. Again, this is pretty simple, and the fact we've had Word open already means that opening up a second time is a little bit quicker. I hope this gives you a better understanding of what you should be looking for when it comes to purchasing the right computer for your office, for your school, or for your home use. And as you can see here on paper, the specification of the new computer seems far better, yet as you can see by the video, it's actually a slower computer. So these are key points. It is also important to realize that the processor is still a very important component. If you're doing any graphical design, any engineering, any video editing or rendering, the processor is still one of the most key components when it comes to these jobs. So the idea is look at what you're looking to use a computer for and buy the right specification to fit that requirement. Stay tuned for our next video where we'll be comparing more computers. Thank you.